Merry Christmas, Yasenko.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Oh. How are you, Shrikaj?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
Good. Good. Very good.
All good?
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay.
शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम श्री गुरवे श्री सत्यसाईनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। ओम श्री परम गुरवे श्री शिरडी साईनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। ओम श्री परमेष्टि गुरवे दत्तात्रेय स्वामी श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः। सद्गुरु चरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। हरिः ओम। ओम यज्ञेश्वराय विद्महे येसुनाथाय धीमहि तन्नो त्यागी प्रचोदयात्। ओम यज्ञेश्वराय विद्महे येसुनाथाय धीमहि तन्नो त्यागी प्रचोदयात्। ओम यज्ञेश्वराय विद्महे येसुनाथाय धीमहि तन्नो त्यागी प्रचोदयात्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. Offering our love to the love of the whole universe, manifested in the form of the supreme sacrifice recorded in the history as Jesus the Christ, the birth of which is the birth of love and sacrifice within our own hearts. Kyrie eleison. Holy Christmas, and may the blessings of the Almighty Father and the Son be upon all of us and ours, now and forever. Amen. We are looking at the war. We are looking at this yajna. As we look at this yajna, we are looking closely, clearly, attentively at all the conflicts that arise which are natural, as long as we have the body, mind, and the senses complex. And such conflicts, when they arise, they result ultimately in actually 16 strengths that are within us that turn to asuric nature or demonic nature. And these are actually our own capabilities and skills, but instead of being directed in the right way, they are turned with complete identification with the false ego or the pseudo I, and therefore create havoc. And as we look at this, and yesterday we concluded with the last two generals that were killed in the war are, who are the last two?
Durdharan and Durmukham.
Durdharam and Durmukham is in the language, but Durdhara, Durmukha. And the mother, finally, you can unshare Ma, because I will start when I start. Yeah, thank you. I want to see all the faces of the gods that gave the divine light. And what does this two mean? Dur dhara, dur mukha. As we said in the Mahishasura Mardini Stotram, there is Durdhara Dharshini, Durmukha Marshini, Harsharate, Jaya Jaya He, Mahishasura Mardini, Ramya Kapardini, Shaila Sute. So this Durdhara, Dhara means bear, Durdhara means unbearable. The unbearable. Durdhara is the unbearable. Durmukha means, mukha means the face or also the expression. Durmukha means unbearable or ugly expression. Oh my God. When you know the English translation of this, immediately we must be connecting. Durdhara, Durmukha. These are the last two. The unbearable and the most ugly or hideous, if you may want to call it little more descriptive. So those two are the last to be killed. Starting with who? Starting with
Chikshura.
Chikshura. Chikshura, Chamara, Bidala, all these things. And ultimately the last two, Durdhara, Durmukha. So what is it that is the most irresistible, unbearable thing that you want to immediately start working on within ourselves? And what is it that is the most ugliest on the face when expressed?
Anger.
What are these two? That is the question. And the most irresistible by anyone and immediately want to execute upon is the desire. The desire. And the most ugliest that cannot be seen when somebody gets it on the face is the anger. So the durdhara, the durmukha fundamentally represent the desire and the anger. The desire turns when it is not accomplished into anger. When a desire is unaccomplished, it turns into anger. When we don't get what we want, we turn and express it as anger. There in Sanskritam, for those of you, the two in Sanskritam are Kama, Krodha. Kama, Krodha. See, the thing is, because you know the Sanskritam words and you don't know what they mean, we simply use them like we wish. But we really don't understand the underpinning of those words. And so when you're looking at this war, the fundamental conflict that turns all of the expression into all of these strengths turning into weaknesses are to fundamentally the rajasic, the passionate, the overtly passionate, bullish nature. Fundamentally, the grounding of that is in the desire. And that desire, when it is not accomplished, becomes the anger, or once one desire comes, it multiplies, multiplies, multiplies. In fact, all the basis of the anger lies in the desire. This desire itself is rooted in what is called as the overactive mind that wants to constantly seeking to accomplish something at the expense of everything and everybody else. Are we all together? Okay, good. If we are all together, so far, all these generals that have been killed are all the subordinates of this fundamental, passionate, rajasic, overactive mind. And that is what we have come to after. Now, if you go back and look at this war, and then yesterday when Uma was asking that question, when I asked what is the root, she finally got to, this is what, these are, if you actually boil down everything down to where all these things are coming from, then you will actually be able to address the root. Unless you deroot that, it would keep coming up back as the sapling and it will never ever die. And this, now the question is, we'll come to the question. And what is it, sir? How can we exist in the world without passion? Without trying to accomplish things? How do we tell our children don't have passion to accomplish? Is it a bad thing? Is it a good? These are all good questions. So we'll probably take that up in the better half of the class. So the first half is just learning the shlokas. The second half seems to be more reflective in nature, which is what this class should be and is all about. So with that, let's now look at we'll chant the slokam where we paused yesterday, and then we'll take up the entrance of the most fundamental aspect, the bull in the china shop, the Rajasic Mahishasura. Evam sankshiyamane tu svasainnye mahishasuraha mahishena swarupena trasayamasa tan ganan. Now this,
Evam.
yes, that is where we paused, Noma, last night, just yesterday.
Yeah, yes, Shrikaj.
Yes. Having seen all of his army completely degenerating, Mahisha in the form of a Mahisha, Mahisha meaning the bull or the buffalo, entered Mahishasura and started threatening the army or the ganas of the mother. Trasayamasa tan ganan. Kamschit tunda.
We didn't we didn't chant the slokam yesterday.
Okay. Evam sankshiyamane tu
Evam sankshiyamane tu. Evam sankshiyamane tu.
स्वसैन्ये महिषासुरः
स्वसैन्ये महिषासुरः. स्वसैन्ये महिषासुरः.
माहिषेण स्वरूपेण
माहिषेण स्वरूपेण. माहिषेण स्वरूपेण.
त्रासयामास तान् गणान्.
त्रासयामास तान् गणान्. त्रासयामास तान् गणान्.
एवं संक्षीयमाणे तु स्वसैन्ये महिषासुरः माहिषेण स्वरूपेण त्रासयामास तान् गणान्.
एवं संक्षीयमाणे तु स्वसैन्ये महिषासुरः माहिषेण स्वरूपेण त्रासयामास तान् गणान्. एवं संक्षीयमाणे तु स्वसैन्ये महिषासुरः माहिषेण स्वरूपेण त्रासयामास तान् गणान्.
कांश्चित् तुण्ड praharena, some by swaying the muzzle, what is called the bull has this, the front of the face, that called a muzzle. It's called a M-U-Z-Z-L-E or M-U-Z-Z-L-E. It's a muzzle or muzzle. I don't know what is the perfect proper pronunciation of it, but you understand. Muzzle, yeah. So your volume is low, ma. I don't know what happened. You may want to increase your output volume. So that using that, Khurakshepai paran. Khura means his hooves, stampeding. He used the muscle to hit some of the people, and he used the hooves and stampeded them. Langulitaditam cha anyan. Langula means the tail. By swaying his powerful tail. Some others, Srungabhyancha. Shringa means the horns. And with the horns, some others, he started creating the havoc in the battlefield. See how many different, see the important point is, see how many different ways this bull can create havoc. Kamschitunda praharena
कांश्चित्तुण्डप्रहारेण कांश्चित्तुण्डप्रहारेण
खुरक्षेपैस्तथा परान्
खुरक्षेपैस्तथा परान् खुरक्षेपैस्तथा परान्
लाङ्गूलिताडितांश्चान्यान्
लाङ्गूलताडितांश्चान्यान् लाङ्गूलताडितांश्चान्यान्
शृङ्गाभ्याञ्च विदारितान्
शृङ्गाभ्यां च विदारितान् शृङ्गाभ्यां च विदारितान्
कांश्चित्तुण्डप्रहारेण खुरक्षेपैस्तथा परान् लाङ्गूलताडितांश्चान्यान् शृङ्गाभ्याञ्च विदारितान्
कांश्चित्तुण्डप्रहारेण खुरक्षेपैस्तथा परान् लाङ्गूलताडितांश्चान्यान् शृङ्गाभ्यां च विदारितान् कांश्चित्तुण्डप्रहारेण खुरक्षेपैस्तथा परान् लाङ्गूलताडितांश्चान्यान् शृङ्गाभ्यां च विदारितान्.
Now those are the body parts. There are other ways. He's creating this havoc. Vegena kamschit, using his speed. Aparan, nadena, with horrible sound. Brahmanena, with the movements. Nishvasa pavanena, by using this sighs, exhalations that are so powerful, because creating wind when he is exhaling, creating wind. Anyan patayamasa bhutale, all of them are falling on the ground because of all these other things. So now you see in these two shlokas, the first one is about the body parts. The second one is about the actions. Vega, speed. Nada, sound. Brahmana, movement. Nishvasa, exhalations. Vegena kamschidaparan.
वेगेन कांश्चिदपरान् वेगेन कांश्चिदपरान्
Nadena brahmanena cha.
नादेन भ्रमणेन च नादेन भ्रमणेन च
Nishvasa pavanenanyan.
निःश्वासपवनेनान्यान् निःश्वासपवनेनान्यान्
Patayamasa bhutale.
पातयामास भूतले पातयामास भूतले
Vegena kamschidaparan nadena brahmanena cha. Nishvasa pavanenanyan patayamasa bhutale.
वेगेन कांश्चिदपरान् नादेन भ्रमणेन च निःश्वासपवनेनान्यान् पातयामास भूतले वेगेन कांश्चिदपरान् नादेन भ्रमणेन च निःश्वासपवनेनान्यान् पातयामास भूतले
निपात्य प्रमथानीकम् अभ्यधावत स असुरः सिंहं हन्तुं महादेव्या कोपञ्चक्रे तत अंबिका. Having killed many among the troops of the Devi, Nipatya Pramathanikan Abhyadhavata Sa Asuraha, then his attention turned towards killing the lion of Mahadevi, Simham Hantum Mahadevyah, and that resulted in the anger of the mother, Kopanchakretata Tataha Ambika. Nipatya Pramathanikam
निपात्य प्रमथानीकम्
Abhyadhavata Sosuraha
अभ्यधावत सोऽसुरः
Simham Hantum Mahadevyah
सिंहं हन्तुं महादेव्याः
Your volume has gone down a lot. Now I'm not able to hear you properly. Okay, check. It's very, very low. Is it for me or for everybody? Can other people hear?
It's
Sridhar?
low, it's low.
Chanting was
Right.
fine. We could hear her chanting fine.
Not the chanting, following.
Her following was fine. We could hear her fine.
Yeah, I think it's relatively low and compared
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it better now?
Little better, yes.
Okay.
Yesterday was much better. I don't know. Today,
Oh, I didn't
You-
change anything.
you didn't
So-
change anything. Okay. Okay. Simham Hantum Mahadevyah
सिंहं हन्तुं महादेव्याः
Kopanchakre Tatombika
कोपञ्चक्रे
Nipatya Pramathanikam Sosuraga Simham Hantum Mahadevyah Kopanchakre Tatombika.
निपात्य प्रमथानीकमभ्यधावत सोऽसुरः सिंहं हन्तुं महादेव्याः कोपञ्चक्रे ततोऽम्बिका निपात्य प्रमथानीकमभ्यधावत सोऽसुरः सिंहं हन्तुं महादेव्याः कोपञ्चक्रे ततोऽम्बिका
Sa api kopan Mahaviryaha Khurakshunna Mahitalaha Srungabhyam Parvatanu Ucham Chikshepacha Nanadacha. Taken over by the great anger, the valiant Asura Mahaviryaha. Sa api kopan Mahaviryaha, taken over by great anger, the great anger the valiant warrior Kurakshunna Mahitalaha pounded the earth with his hooves, and with his horns he lifted mountains, Srungabhyam, Parvatanucham, and Chikshepacha, Nanadacha, and shouted loudly. You see the Mahishasura, when they get angry at home, all these qualities, 100% you see, they will pound the earth, they will hit the table with their fist, and they will make great sound. They'll take everything, anything in around them, and they will throw at the other person. Yes. Notice the Mahishasuras or Mahishasura expressions, all these expressions so clearly. This is not about some Mahishasura somewhere else. By the way, it is not just a manly thing also. The Mahishasura is equally expressed in female gender as well as male gender. He is an equal opportunity employer. There is no discrimination whatsoever. Sopi kopan mahavirya.
Sopi kopan mahavirya. Sopi kopan mahavirya.
Kurakshunna mahitalaha.
Kurakshunna mahitalaha. Kurakshunna mahitalaha.
Shrangabhyam parvatanucham.
Shringabhyam parvatanuchams. Shringabhyam parvatanuchams.
Chikshepachananadacha.
Chikshepachananadacha. Chikshepachananadacha.
Sopi kopan mahavirya. Kurakshunna mahitalaha. Shrangabhyam parvatanucham. Chikshepacha nanadacha.
Sopi kopan mahaviryah kurakshunna mahitalaha. Shringabhyam parvatanucham chikshepachananadacha. Sopi kopan mahaviryah kurakshunna mahitalaha. Shringabhyam parvatanucham chikshepachananadacha.
Vega Brahmana Vikshunna Mahitasya Vyasiryata Langulena Ahataha Cha Abdhihi Plavayamasa Sarvataha. Further description. Vega Brahmana Vikshunna Mahitasya Vyasiryata. Because of his, the Asura stampeding was so quick and heavy that the earth under his feet started breaking apart. Vyasiryata. Mahitasya Vyasiryata. With his stampedes that are so powerful and quick, the earth started breaking apart. Langulena hataha cha abdhihi. His tail lashed so heavily that the oceans, abdhihi means oceans, oceans started overflowing and started submerging. Plavayamasa sarvataha. Everything that is around is now getting submerged into the waters of the ocean. Vega Brahmana Vikshunna.
Vega Brahmana Vikshunna. Vega वेगभ्रमणविक्षुण्णा
महीतस्य व्यसीर्यत
महीतस्य व्यशीर्यत महीतस्य व्यशीर्यत
लाङ्गूलेनाहतश्चाब्धिः
लाङ्गूलेनाहतश्चाब्धिः लाङ्गूलेनाहतश्चाब्धिः
प्लावयामास सर्वतः
प्लावयामास सर्वतः प्लावयामास सर्वतः
वेगभ्रमणविक्षुण्णा महीतस्य व्यसीर्यत लाङ्गूलेनाहतश्चाब्धिः प्लावयामास सर्वतः
वेगभ्रमणविक्षुण्णा महीतस्य व्यशीर्यत लाङ्गूलेनाहतश्चाब्धिः प्लावयामास सर्वतः वेगभ्रमणविक्षुण्णा महीतस्य व्यशीर्यत लाङ्गूलेनाहतश्चाब्धिः प्लावयामास सर्वतः
धृतशृङ्ग विभिन्नाश्च खण्डं खण्डं ययुर्घनाः by the clouds were pierced and broke into pieces because of the swaying of his horns. My God, are you huh? I am enthralled by the power of this guy, you know. What an incredible power this is. Dhutashrunga vibhinnascha khandam khandam yayur ghanah. All the clouds in the skies were broken into pieces because of the swaying of his horns. Shrunga. The mountains thrown by him, Shwasa Nilasta Shatasho, Nipetur Nabhaso Achala. Achala means mountains. Shwasa Nilasta Shatasho, because of his exhalations that were created, the violent exhalations, all the mountains have risen up to the sky and these mountains started falling from the sky onto the ground. Shwasa Nilasta Shatasho Nipetur Nabhaha Sa Achalaha. It is such a pleasure to actually chant so perfectly or listen to perfect chanting, because it actually gives you the complete experience of the sound, not just the words. Dhuta Shrunga Vibhinnascha
धृतशृङ्गविभिन्नाश्च
Khandang Khandayayurghanaha
खण्डं खण्डय्ययुर्घनाः खण्डं खण्डय्ययुर्घनाः
Shwasanilastashatasho
श्वासानिलास्ताशतशो श्वासानिलास्ताशतशो
Nipeturnabhasochalaha
निपेतुर्नभसोचलाः निपेतुर्नभसोचलाः
Dhutashrunga Vibhinnascha Khandang Khandayayurghanaha Shwasanilastashatasho Nipeturnabhasochalaha.
धृतशृङ्गविभिन्नाश्च खण्डं खण्डय्ययुर्घनाः श्वासानिलास्ताशतशो निपेतुर्नभसोचलाः धृतशृङ्गविभिन्नाश्च खण्डं खण्डय्ययुर्घनाः
iti krodha samadhatma apatantam mahasuram. Note when the Devi saw, Drishtva sa Chandika, when the Devi Chandika actually saw this Asura, who is completely, the Mahasura, who was completely taken over by this rage and starting running towards her, iti krodha samadhatma, samadhmatam. Okay. Iti krodha samadhmatam apatantam mahasuram. Apatantam means running towards her. Drishtva sa chandika kopam. Mother saw with great anger and decided tadvadhaya tada karot. She decided that he should be killed. That's when she decided. Iti krodha samadhmatam
इति क्रोधसमाध्मातम् इति क्रोधसमाध्मातम्
apatantam mahasuram.
आपतन्तम् महासुरम्
Drishtva sa chandika kopan
दृष्ट्वा सा चण्डिका कोपन्
tadvadhaya tada karot.
तद्वधाय तदा करोत्
Iti krodha samadhmatam mahasuram. Drishtva sa chandika kopan tadvadhaya tada karot.
इति क्रोधसमाध्मातमापतन्तं महासुरम् दृष्ट्वा सा चण्डिका कोपं तद्वधाय तदा करोत् इति क्रोधसमाध्मातमापतन्तं महासुरम् दृष्ट्वा सा चण्डिका कोपं तद्वधाय तदा करोत्
Sa kshiptva tasya vai pasham tam babandha mahasuram tatyajamahisham rupam sopi baddho mahamrudhe. Then Sa is she, the mother here. Kshiptva tasya vai pasham, then bound him with her noose. When she bound him by the noose, tam babandha mahasuram, and then tied him up with that pasha. Pasha means the rope or the noose. This asura, tatyajamahisham rupam. He immediately gave up that buffalo form. Sa apibaddho mahamrudhe, as he was bound in that great battle. So when he was bound by the Devi who threw the nose over him, and when he knew that he was bound in the battle, tam baban sa apibaddho mahamrudhe, now that he is caught, and therefore he is now caught in the battle. Sa api baddho mahamrudhe tatyajamahisham rupam. He gave up the buffalo form. Are yaar, so beautiful, no? So beautiful. Can we actually connect to this? When the fellow is totally angry and you call upon his anger and caught him red-handed. Hey, do you see you have become very angry and you're behaving like a buffalo? And then immediately this ego takes a different form, leaves that form and assumes different form. This is what I was calling as escape of the ego. The ego escapes the conflict because it cannot be in the conflict. It is actually, when it is caught red-handed and you call a spade, boom, it disappears. Sakshiptva tasya vaipashan.
साक्षिप्त्वा तस्य वैपाशन् साक्षिप्त्वा तस्य वैपाशन्
Tambabandhamahasuram.
तम्बबन्धमहासुरम्
Tatyajamahisham rupam.
तत्याजमाहिषं रूपम्
Sopi baddho mahamridhe.
सोऽपि बद्धो महामृधे
Sakshiptva tasya vaipashantam mahasuram. Tatyajamahisham rupam sopi baddho mahamridhe.
साक्षिप्त्वा तस्य वैपाशन् तम्बबन्धमहासुरम् तत्याजमाहिषं रूपम् सोऽपि बद्धो महामृधे साक्षिप्त्वा तस्य वैपाशन् तम्बबन्धमहासुरम् तत्याजमाहिषं रूपम् सोऽपि बद्धो महामृधे
Tata simhaha abhavat sadyo yavat tasya ambika siraha chinattitavat purushaha khadga panihi adrishyata. Then immediately tataha simhaha abhavat, he left the buffalo form and took the form of the lion, of a lion. When that happened, immediately sadyo yavat tasya ambika siraha. Then the mother took her sword and beheaded the lion form of his, hit the head off of that lion. Chinatti tavat purushaha khadgapanihi adrishyata. He immediately disappeared from the lion form. When the Devi chipped the head off that lion form, he appeared as a man with a sword in his hand. Purushaha khadga panihi. Man with a sword in the hand. Tatasimho bhavat sadyo.
ततः सिंहो भवत्सद्यो
Yavat tasyambika siraha.
यावत् तस्याम्बिका शिरः
Chinatti tavat purushah.
छिनत्ति तावत् पुरुषः
Khadgapaniradrashyata.
खड्गपाणिरदृश्यत
Tatasimho bhavat sadyo yavat tasyambika siraha chinatti tavat purushah khadgapaniradrashyata.
तस्य सिंहो भवत्सद्यो यावत् तस्याम्बिकाशिरः छिनत्ति तावत् पुरुषः खड्गपाणिरदृश्यत तस्य सिंहो भवत् सद्यो यावत् तस्याम्बिकाशिरः छिनत्ति तावत् पुरुषः खड्गपाणिरदृश्यत
तथा एवाशु पुरुषं देवी चिच्छेदसायकैः तं खड्गचर्मणा सार्धं ततः सोऽभून् महागजः. Tata, then the mother chichhedasayakai, then she turned, cut into pieces the man along with his shield and sword with her arrows. Evashu purusham devi chichhedasayakai tang khadga charmana sardham, along with his khadga charma. Khadga is sword, charma is shield. Cut him, chicheda, into pieces, along with his sword and the shield, with her arrows. Suddenly, tataha, so bhoon mahagajaha. Then suddenly he turned into a great elephant. I hope you are writing down all this. How many forms how many ways he attacked the ganas of the mother, with the body, with gestures, and then how many forms he is taking when the mother is trying to attack him. Very important. This is homework. It will give a lot of insight into that Mahisha within us. Tata evashu purushan devi chichedasayakaihe tang khadga charmana sardhan tatasso bhoon mahagajaha. Tata evashu purusham.
तत एवाशु पुरुषन्
Devi chichedasayakaihe
देवी चिच्छेदसायकैः
तं khadga charmana sardham
तं खड्गचर्मणा सार्धन्
tatasso bhoon mahagajaha.
ततः सोऽभून्महागजः
Tata evashu purushan devi chicheda sayakaihe tang khadga charmana sardhan tatasso bhoon mahagajaha.
तत एवाशु पुरुषन् देवी चिच्छेदसायकैः तं खड्गचर्मणा सार्धन् ततः सोऽभून्महागजः तत एवाशु पुरुषन् देवी चिच्छेदसायकैः तं खड्गचर्मणा सार्धन् ततः सोऽभून्महागजः.
So now when you actually are learning the shlokas with both the word by word literal meaning and the inner meaning, when you go back and actually read these shlokas and practice yourself, then you will be 100% grounded in Ardhanu Sandhana Purvakam Chandi Stavam Pathet, simply not Ardhanu Sandhana Purvakam Chandi Stavam Pathet. That's the Sankalpa that we are taking. So then what happens is you will truly experience this incredible bliss of the presence of the awareness within you. And that is the real purpose of chanting. that, and of course, what I'm saying, please don't misunderstand. Now, a lot of people will immediately, the monkey mind will ask, so if I don't know the meaning, should I not be chanting? No, that is not what I said. There is a first level of chanting, second level of chanting. To learn is good, to understand is better, to have the awareness is perfect. So write this down. To learn is good. That is the first point. To understand what you are learning is better, and to be aware of it is perfect. And then, of course, in this experience lies where the awareness is. And then what happens? Sir, why do we have to do this monthly Parayan? You are killing us. Why now on the top of it, you're asking us to practice? What is all this? Why it is done like this? Why it is done like this? Because when these symptoms manifest within you, let me tell you very clearly why. When these symptoms manifest within you because of the false identification of the mind with that ego that is the bull, you will be immediately remembering, oh my God, Mahishasura has manifested within me. Because now this gets so grounded, it's like a man that comes totally. Lot of people ask, how do I practice? How do I sustain that awareness of the self? How do I sustain? You sustain it through practice, but nothing else will be useful. Only sadhanamuna panulu samakuru dharalona Vishwadabhirama Vinuravema. It's only through sadhana. And what is this sadhana? This sadhana is to be completely alert and to be completely aware. How do you get this? When you are actually noticing this as a movie, just like something happens and you see something, then some movie scene will come in front of you. This movie scene will come, and then immediately you will separate from that and go into this part of awareness where you say, oh, this is something, a symptom that I am recognizing. And how beautifully the Rishi is, there is nothing here that is not captured in the context of how the bull behaves when it is taken over by the rage and the anger and trying to attack your awareness itself. Namassahamaanaja nivyadhina vyadhininam pataje namo namah kakubhaya nishangine estenanam pataje namo namo nishangina ishuddhimate taskaranam pataje namo namo vanchate parivanchate. All these things are described in what Anuvakam of Rudram?
Third.
And that is what is described here. Namassahamanaya nivyadhina avyadhininam pataye namo namah kakubhaya nishang. How different ways the ego assumes different forms and try to escape from this awareness. And the awareness is catching this red-handed and saying, trying to throw the nose, cutting the head off, using the arrows and cutting this man into pieces. Who is the man? The man with the sword and the shield. And who is this man with the sword and the shield? It is your false ego. And this false ego manifested. It's not real. And it is trying to protect this false identification all the time. That's called defense. And when somebody points out what your mistakes are, immediately you go into this defense mode. Yeah. And this defense mode is with a sword and a shield. And this false ego rises. No. What do you mean I am angry? I am not angry. I'm trying to find out what you are actually doing. But this is the man with the sword and the shield trying to be defensive. And with this pierceful thoughts that are coming out like arrows from this awareness, this man will be completely destroyed into pieces. And suddenly he assumed the form of a Mahagaja, a great elephant. Karena cha Mahasimhan.
करेण च महासिंहन् करेण च महासिंहन्
Tancha Karsha Jagarja cha.
तञ्च कर्ष जगर्ज च तञ्च कर्ष जगर्ज च
Karshatastu Karandevi.
कर्षतस्तु करन् देवी कर्षतस्तु करन् देवी
Khadgena Nirakrantata.
खड्गेन निरकृन्तत खड्गेन निरकृन्तत
Karena cha Mahasimhan. Tancha Karsha Jagarja cha. Karena cha Karshatastu Karandevi. Khadgena Nirakrantata.
करेण च महासिंहं तञ्च कर्ष जगर्ज च कर्षतस्तु करन् देवी खड्गेन निरकृन्तत करेण च महासिंहं तञ्च कर्ष जगर्ज च कर्षतस्तु करन् देवी खड्गेन निरकृन्तत.
And this elephant now. Oh, I didn't explain the meaning of this. Yeah. So the elephant form then immediately shouted loudly, and with its tundam, that is the trunk, raised its trunk and dragged the lion of the Mahasimham. There is a distinction between this Simham and the previous Simham. Here, see that the Rishi is making a very clear difference between this is Mahasimham. That was the Simham form, that was the false form of that Simham. Because it's not real. It's unreal lion. It's unreal man. It's an unreal bull. All those forms are unreal. They are assumed forms. They're not the real forms. What beautiful. On this Christmas day, my God, Bhagavan is making this so extremely clear. What is it that we actually need to be crucifying in a true sense? Then mother, Karshatastu Karandevi Khadgena Nirakrantata. While he was dragging the lion, Devi cut off the trunk of his with her sword. Now, who thinks this is a violent war that is happening? Huh? People used to ask me this question. What is all this, sir? Description of some lady killing all this in deadly description, so violent. What is the spiritual purpose of chanting all of this stuff, sir? This is all war, terrible war. How horribly described. Have you all felt horrible listening to all this war? When you actually understood what this war is? Huh? Who felt terrible? Oh my God, this is so violent and all of this stuff. Because you are not looking at war. You're actually looking at your own self. Good for you if you have not even connected to all those asuras within you. But as your awareness raises, you will be noticing them. They're all present in a subtle form. They're all subtle, and you don't know when they get expressed, in which way, both positive and negative. Tato mahasuro bhuyo mahisham vapuras sthitaha tathaiva kshobhayamasa trailokyam sacharacharam. Then the Mahasura again assumed Bhuyo Mahisham Vapura Sthitaha. Again assumed the form of the buffalo. And Trilokyam Sacharacharam Kshobhayamasa Tathaiva. Then he agitated. The great Asura, assuming the form of the buffalo again, shook all the three worlds, which consisted Trilokyam, the three worlds, Sa, Chara, Acharam, that is comprised of both movable and immovable objects. My God, amazing. See, every word and its inner description is 100% inner applicable. 100%. There is nothing here that is happening outside at all. Movable and immovable objects. The world is composed of movable and immovable objects. Perfect description. Is there anything else? Hello, Sairam. Do you see anything else in the world other than movable and immovable? Please tell me. Yes, that means no. Silence is no. Okay. Tato mahasuro bhuyo.
Tato mahasuro bhuyo. Tato mahasuro bhuyo.
Mahisham vapurasthitah.
Mahisham vapurasthitah. Mahisham vapurasthitah.
Tathaiva kshobhayamasa.
तथैव क्षोभयामास तथैव क्षोभयामास
Trilokyam sacharacharam.
त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरम् त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरम्
Tato mahasuro bhuyo. Mahisham vapurasthitah. Tathaiva kshobhayamasa. Trilokyam sachara. Should be Trilokyam. I'm saying N. Okay, one more time. Tato mahasuro bhuyo. Mahisham vapurasthitah. Tathaiva kshobhayamasa. Trilokyam sacharacharam.
ततो महासुरो भूयो माहिषं वपुरास्थितः तथैव क्षोभयामास त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरम् ततो महासुरो भूयो माहिषं वपुरास्थितः तथैव क्षोभयामास त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरम्.
Oh, we are 8 minutes over. Sairam. I think this is a good place to stop where what the mother did next. And we will have the class on the New Year Eve. And we will begin the new year with Bhagavan's grace, with one of the most powerful chapters, chapter 4, on the New Year day, which will be Vaikuntha Ekadashi also. Very auspicious. And I don't want to miss if nobody is there, I will do the chanting myself. Because it's such a powerful way to start this prayer, the fourth chapter. The fourth chapter will complete the third chapter on the eve. So close the year with killing of Mahishasura. Close the year with killing of Mahishasura and begin the new year with the prayer to the mother, which is the most auspicious prayer, chapter 4. That's a very auspicious beginning of the new year. And this new year 2023 is a much more beautiful year. It is called Shobhakrit. This is Shubhakrit. This year is Shubhakrit. Next year, not the Ugadi year. I'm talking about the Ugadi year. But this Gregorian calendar year is irrelevant to us. But what I'm talking about, the Ugadi year next year is the Shobhakrut. But then because it is Shobhakrut, probably the year, even the Gregorian calendar year is starting on Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Nothing happens without this incredible grace of Bhagavan. And let us pause there with the Kshama Prarthana, and if there are any questions, we'll contemplate on that. Okay. Om yadaksharapadabhrashtam matrahinam tu yadbhavet tatsarvan kshamyatam deva narayana namostute visargabindu matrani padapadaksharaणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराध सहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्य भावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ओम तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु. Okay, Sai Ram. Today has been one of the very powerful sessions. I really felt the presence of both the Devi and the Mahishasura very much. And on this auspicious Christmas day, Jai Sai Ram. Okay. Oh, so you're all lucky. There are no questions today because they all want to go and join their families for lunch or dinner, I guess. Okay. Are there any questions on the floor?
Sairam Shekharji, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
The significance of this movement of transformations, right? Buffalo to lion to man to elephant, then back to buffalo. So, what is like, why in that order? And
Yeah, homework. Homework. Not only that question, but also the homework. Next question is also about what are all the different body language used by the bull. The body languages used by the bull. List them down. Body language that has two aspects to it. The physical body language and the expressive body language by the bull. Is the question clear? All of you connected to that? Yes?
Yeah.
And then so we went through today, clearly to summarize what we went through today, we started with how different body parts were used by the bull to attack the ganas of the mother, the Deva Ganas. And then what are all the different body languages used by the bull? Body languages as in speed, as in all different ways the bull attacked. And then the next question is what Sri Vidya asked. What are all the forms that were taken, starting from buffalo back to buffalo? And what do we understand as the significance of that? You all know the link to the folder, and you can post it there. And they can. I'll create a folder called chapter. Yeah. So there is another homework yesterday. We also talked about, which is about. We only talked about the 7 asuras in chapter number 2, but there are more described in chapter number 3. And what are those and how do you connect to their? And then with the exception of one, everyone else was killed by the mother. So just a list, a table. Who is the Asura? How did the mother kill? And what do you think is the Asura, the name, actual name, and the meaning of that name, how the mother killed them, killed each of those Asuras? Is that so? I will, as we speak here, let me create a folder called Chapter 3 Homework. Okay, good. The reason is if I keep giving these answers myself, you are not in the class. If there is anything that I explained that is not clear, then I can address that. But don't escape the homework like Mahishasura. Don't let the Mahishasura in you escape the homework. How many different ways the Mahishasura tries to escape the homework? My God, that's also very powerful. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Any other clarification questions?
So when you see the Sloka 26, there's more evidence that this happens on earth.
Yes. So they were fighting on earth for sure. Mahitale, etc. But it doesn't mean that all these beings lived on earth. Because our mind and thoughts are not in this loka most of the time. Have you noticed that? We are in La La Land. Yes. Okay.
Sai Raman,
Yes, sir.
I'm just going back to yesterday's topic
Mm,
on the complete attention to I am, which is love,
mm.
and just be. So these two looks like contradicting each other. One is effortless state. The other one is you need to put, looks like we need to put attention. When you say complete attention to I am, that means we need to put effort to that.
What puts the effort?
The person has to put the effort.
What is the person?
That's the manifestation of ego.
So what puts the effort? Yeah, Satish, unmute and talk. Unless you want to talk to yourself, that's a different story. Yeah. Okay.
Mind.
Yeah, see here now the mind is echoing in the background.
Yeah, the mind puts the effort.
Yeah. Hritstale manaha swasthita yuta bhakti yoga bodhascha nishchitam. Upadesha Sara, Shloka number 10 by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Hritstale manaha swasthita yuta bhakti yoga bodha cha nishchitam. There is nothing else that is the essence of bhakti, devotion, yoga, or the meditation. All of it leads to only one thing. Hrit manaha swasthita yuta, placing the mind in the heart. This is another. There's so many things, all of this effort is to know all these things to reinforce that effort constantly. So what has to pay attention? What has to be alert?
The mind only.
Mind.
Yeah. In what? Rudy.
Alliance with heart.
What is the heart?
It's the awareness basically.
I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with love. Ave Maria, Kyrie eleison. Amen. Where is this, sir? I am is what? I am is? I am is?
Love.
One. I am is the mother. I am is the father. I am is the heart. I am is the love. Ave Maria. Maria is supreme devotion. If you want to learn devotion, look at Mother Mary. If you want to know what is sacrifice, love the Christ, Kyrie eleison. Christe eleison. On Christmas Sunday, this is the Mass we just went through. Yes, on a Christmas Sunday, you think the answer is somewhere else. On a Christmas Sunday, the answer is in the heart. Where is the, what needs to be placed where? Kyrie eleison. Christe eleison. Kyrie eleison. Kyrie eleison. Thanks for asking the question. Where is the mind right now, sir?
Still not in the heart. Yeah, he has to go there.
Stop trying to place it, sir. Uh, the effort is what is killing, sir. Don't try to put an effort to play. Let it just go there, sir. You're holding on to it, sir. Drop it, sir. It is effort. Sir, holding is an effort. Dropping is no effort. So you're holding your mind, and when I said where should go, you're trying to put an effort to place it. Yes. But its natural state is this. This is its natural state. But somehow you're holding it. Drop it. Drop the mind. What is dropping the mind? Dropping the mind is dropping the thought. What is dropping the thought? What is the thought right now? The thought is, I have to place it. Oh, it's such a joy to just to understand that, sir. Then suddenly you are unbound. Suddenly, the moment you said, oh, I'm trying to put a thought, the thought is, I have to put my mind in the heart. And when I have to put my hand in the thought, who is holding the thought? The thought is held by that ego, which falsely is saying, I have to put it there. I want peace, as Bhagavan says. Drop the I and drop the want. What remains is the peace. It's very beautiful. How simply he said all these things. But we all hear Swami's teachings and we got so used to hearing them, this love all, serve all and all of this stuff. Then we simply are not connected to them in awareness. We are only connected to them in our knowledge, not in our awareness, right? So that is what is the question. Okay. Stop trying to put the effort. Sairam, what are the three lokas in us? Yeah. What are the three lokas in us, Jitendra? What are the three lokas, sir? The three lokas are very simply three. The three lokas are, the three lokas are three realities. I'll talk in English, not in Sanskritam words. The three lokas, because Sanskritam words are another manifestation of we having the knowledge of these things, but they don't come into real manifestation in experience. They're simply expressions. So if we only use Sanskrit words to describe something, then you actually are, unless you really, really understand them, you will not be able to express your love in so many different ways. This is love all, sir. Love all. Love all means not love only your God, your favorite God, your favorite world, your favorite stuff. Love all means there is no boundary. It is expansion, consciousness, whether it is Jesus to the Adam or whoever it is, there is nothing but this love. And this love gets captured in three different states and then bound to those. One is your own personal reality. Then there is the second one, the relative reality. And the third one is the absolute reality. These are the three worlds that you live in. You see things only from the point of your personal point of view, then from a relative point of view, and the absolute, which is not the facts, but the truth. The facts that exist for you personally, the facts that exist in relativity to others, and the truth. Now it is no longer the fact. Those are the three lokas that we live in. 100%. Am I talking in English? Yes, Enko. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. If this is my constant, this is just on a personal note, this is how my personal journey into Vedas actually started. Just to let you very clearly know. When back in, oh God, when was this? 2001, 2002? That's when this body started on this journey of the Vedas. Before that, it was never connected to any of this stuff. And because of the grace of Bhagavan, it so happened. And then I had to tell him, I had to make a deal with him. Huh? Then he said, you teach the meaning of all of this, and then only it would be impactful on you, on your personal journey in spirituality. And then I said, okay, because I told him I don't know Sanskritam. I don't know Sanskritam. How can I teach the meaning? That's the question I asked him. I don't know Sanskritam. I haven't gone to a guru and learned any of these Vedas. And he said, you teach them all with its meaning. And I said, how can I teach the meaning? I don't know Sanskritam. And then the conversation was really to ask him the question, yes, I will teach the meaning, but the meaning should not be only confined to Hinduism. That's the deal. The meaning should not be confined to Hindus. That there is a Hindu god called Shiva, Hindu god Narayana, Hindu this, Hindu that, and all these Vedas is about Hindu gods. And he said, no, no, no. Vedas are nothing to do with Hindu gods. These are all different energies that are universally applicable. Then I said, okay, Swami, that's great. So the meaning has to be not bound to Hinduism only. You understand? Not just relative to Hinduism. And because you are God for all and you are love all. If I only explain the meaning of Narayana as a blue guy sleeping on a snake coil with a rich woman blessing his feet, how is that relevant to a Christian? How is that relevant to a Jew or a Buddhist, etc.? Then he said, no, no, no. All those are images created by the mind. That's not what Narayana means. That's not what Shiva means. That's not what Shakti means. That's not what all these mantras mean. They are not simply applicable only to Hindu iconism. They're much beyond that. And that's when the effort and his grace is really about trying to explain the meaning without using Hindu iconism only, and trying to connect to this not with prejudged knowledge about the words related to Sanskritam. It's a beautiful what we call sadhana. When you all now carry this to your own people or to teach other people, etc. That's what I tell people teaching Rudram to other people. You have to bring in this perspective, and if you don't have that, it is not that it is a sin or anything like that. Then you missed the whole point of what Vedas are. Vedas are not Hindu scriptures, though they are predominantly used by Hindus. Vedas are not Hindu scriptures, although Hindus use them predominantly. Is that making sense? Okay, why did I come to that? Because he asked, what are the three lokas? Then immediately my thing was, what are the three lokas? Then if you ask this with a preconceived knowledge of judgment in Sanskritam, what do you say, Srinivas Konchada?
Swargalokam, Bhulokam, Patalokam.
Okay, Swargalokam, Bhulokam, Patalokam. But that in English is?
Hell, heaven, and earth.
Hella. Hell
Hell.
ekkadunni?
Patal.
Patal Lokam is not hell, it is Patalam is Narakam. What is Patal Lokam? Okay, what is Sudhakar's three lokas?
Bhuloka, Bhuvarlokas, 7 up and 7 down. I don't
Okay.
remember the names offhand. But the three
What
lokas,
is Madhuri's three lokas? Three worlds. Loka means world.
Oh, I was thinking of them in terms of grantis, like the layers in the being, the knots, I guess.
Oh, Granthi. Oh,
Brahma, Rudra.
Prananam Granthi Rasi Rudro Mavishan. Oh, see how many different ways we look at this thing. So, what is the actual meaning of the word Loka? Loka means that what you see. Lokayati iti lokaha. That which is seen is what is called loka. How did we translate that into world? Because what you see is the world, therefore what is seen is the world. See, I'm going into the deeper context of the question, not just leave it like what are the three lokas means now. Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Swarloka, Patala Loka, Bhuloka, Swargaloka, or knots in the body, all of that stuff. See how quickly between four people, the lokas have become many now. Yeah. How many lokas we have created just in the last 2 minutes? Because that's how you are seeing the world. So therefore, whatever you see is your world. You understand? So what does it mean? Samasta lokas sukhino bhavantu. Not may all the beings in all the worlds be happy. That is it. Because people don't know what it means. So they simply translate into some language that is commonly understood. But that is not the awareness of the mantra. Samasta lokas sukhino bhavantu. That is not the actual meaning of it. Samasta, all, loka, all that is being seen. By who? By so many people. So how many lokas are existing? Hello, Sairam?
In billions.
So if you look at the word loka, loka means that which is seen. Lochana means that which is seeing. Alochana means that which is being seen, which is your thought. And therefore, every thought became its own world. So multiply by all the beings what they are seeing. Not everybody is seeing the same thing in the same way. Yes, is that very clear? Yeah, right now, in example of last 5 minutes, when I asked what are the three lokas, 4 people gave 4 different answers. Shekhar said something, Sudhakar has different lokas, 3 lokas, Konchada has 3 different lokas, and Madhuri, I don't even know what she has in lokas. Because I'm not seeing the same thing as Madhuri. So it become completely different lokas. So now all that is being seen by all the beings. What is Sukha?
Putting something in the right place.
Be in their right places. Then that is happiness. You understood the meaning of Samasta Lokas Sukhino Bhavantu? Thanks for Jitendra for asking that question. How many lokas are there? Trailokye. Huh? So how simple the word loka, we understood, all understood differently. But actually, when you look at it, how do I use the word look at it? How many zillions of times? Look at it. When you actually look at it, what you look is loka. Loka, look. Are they connected? Loka, look. Looking, loka. Hello, English word look, loka. So if what you see is your loka, what are you actually saying? Only 3 things. Things from your own point of view, personal reality. Things from relative point of view. How it is a relative point of view? I call this a cup. Relatively, somebody else is also seeing this as a cup. This is relative loka. This object is now referenced in relative loka. And then there is a third one, which is beyond these 2, which you sometimes see, but you don't know what you have seen. You have no understanding of it, and you can't even express it. It's only experienced and never expressed. That is the absolute. which is not what now? Which is not the factual. Hello, sir. Are we all together, sir? Huh? Am I talking to myself? Are we together?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. So
Yes.
how profound this thing called you see the sun, and for you the sun is personally is a beautiful. Right now there is no sun. I can't see it. Is hidden by the fog. So then there is other people referring to sun, right? Other people also referring to sun. So we all recognize it as the sun. There is a sun from a personal perception. There is a sun from a relative perception, and both of these are that the sun is rising and setting, but in truth, the sun is beyond that perception, which cannot be expressed, but only experienced. Experienced that the sun is all the time there. He is not rising or setting, but it is the earth that is rotating. And somebody asks you how crazy you are. How is the earth rotating right now? If the earth is rotating, I must be moving. I'm not moving, but I see the sun moving. Now this cannot be explained. To a 3-year-old comes and asks that question. Hey Tata, you are crazy. How is the earth rotating? I'm not moving. And you say that sun is the one that is not moving, but I see the sun moving in the sky. How is the sun moving in the sky? At 6 o'clock in the morning, I see him here. At 6 o'clock in the evening, I see him here. So the sun is moving, but then you are saying sun is not moving, earth is moving. I don't experience the earth moving. For this, this is not a relative fact that can be explained. It can only be understood in experience of the science that taught you that, and therefore that is the absolute truth. Are we clear? Absolute Loka. Yes.
I have a question, Shikaji, to follow up on that.
Yes. Yes, ma.
So, can we also say that the three lokas are like the body, mind, and soul? In the sense of our understanding of our physical reality, right? The relative is the mind,
Yes.
and the absolute is the soul.
Yes. Yes. And you can go on and on.
And in this sloka, right, where Mahishasura is like using his horns to break into those three lokas. How do we, because absolute cannot be destroyed, right? The soul, the Atman cannot be destroyed. So when we say that the horns kind of shattered through those three lokas, I'm trying to figure out how to relate it to myself, like.
So in the context of Mahishasura tearing apart, right, then what happens is in the context of the anger taking over one, your worlds are shattered. What you see is shattered. What you see from your personal point of view is shattered. Absolute relative point is shattered, literally, because you're throwing things and breaking cups and plates. And even from a connectivity from the absolute individual soul to soul, connection is shattered. Ma, you asked a very beautiful question. Yeah, you all have 5 minutes. I'll share my experience with Swami on what anger does.
Sure.
When I confessed to Swami once, Swami, I have too much anger. What do I do about this? And then I think the people previously probably already heard this. So my apologies. If you forgot it, it's good. If you remember it, it's even better. so, uh, so when he asked the question, Swami says very simply, Are, just tell yourself, I am a man, I am not a dog. I am a man, I am not a dog. I am man, I am not a dog. Like this, he kept on saying this. And then I said, I didn't understand this kind of thing. I said, Swami, sorry, I'm not connected to what you're saying. What does it? It's like a mantra, he said. When you get angry, just pull yourself back and say, I'm a man, I'm not a dog. Then I said, what is the connection with dog? I said, do you know what a dog does? When a stranger walks into the home, he asked. I said, it barks. Oh, that's what you do, no? When you get angry, you bark. And they said, wow, that's really nice. Yes, I bark. So what are you seeing when you bark? I said, stranger. No, but your wife is in front of you. She's not a stranger. Why are you barking? You understand why? Are you following with the logic that he's using? Are you following the logic he's using? When you become angry, the person in front of you, it can be your father, it can be your mother, it can be your own wife or a son or somebody who you know very well, suddenly turned into a stranger. Therefore, you're barking. Understand? What a profound thing that he just said. I'm not a dog means suddenly, that means people around you who you know very well and connected to turned into strangers. Therefore, you're barking, you're shouting. Huh? So then the next thing he asked, the person is right in front of you. You got angry. Why does your voice raise? They can hear you. When you are angry, are you saying, look, I am very angry with you because da 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 da. Are you talking so softly? Your voice raised, your decibel raised. Why you have to shout when the person is right in front of you? That's because, why do you shout? When you see the other person cannot hear. So when somebody is very far away, you are yelling, hey, come here, etc. Right? But the person is right in front of you. You're shouting. That means the distance between the two individuals has separated beyond the physical distance. And therefore, they are in totally different worlds now. That means the distance, if you are in front, if you are soul to soul connection, now the absolute, if you are soul to soul connection, you don't even have to speak. See how
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
how profound. Now in three levels he explained what anger does to you. You are separated physically, you are separated relatively, and you are separated in the soul, in the spirit. And that three is what I am talking about. Body, mind, and in spirit. In all the three ways, you are separated. So all the three are shattered. And therefore, Mahishasura, in his anger, shattered all the three worlds, the personal world, the relative world, and the absolute world. Yo, this is very beautiful study circle after that session on a Christmas Sunday. Huh? Jai Sai Ram. That is now Sai Ram. Jitendra will close with this. What you have explained, is it the same as what others think? Yeah. Here is, yes, it is what others think who you are, what you think who you are, and what you really are. Yes, those are the three worlds. How you see yourself, how others see you, and who you are beyond what is seen. Those are the three words. See, this is the beauty of what. So now those are Swami's words, right? What Swami has said about the three of you. even though that is the substratum, if I simply said these are the three, I'm telling you, 90% of you would not have paid any attention. Why?
Because we are so used to listening those.
Perfect, Ma. That is perfect. You are so used to listening to this. The moment you give Swami's quote and answer a question, immediately the mind says, "Arey, this I know already. What is new about this? Huh? This I know already." Swami said this immediately. So the awareness has now escaped in looking at this thing as you are looking at it here and now. Here and now. Not what somebody said in the past, not what is written in the books. What is the knowledge that you have gathered like a donkey carrying sandalwood piles? Huh? A donkey is carrying a pile of sandalwood, but the donkey doesn't know that there is sandalwood because it cannot smell and perceive the beauty of sandalwood. So preconceived knowledge without practice and awareness is a burden. So the experience is here and now, complete total presence. And that is the essence of. And that complete total presence is what is called I am, and that I am manifested as the I and the am, the I being the existence, the am being the awareness, and the combination of this in the presence here and now, the mind will get, you drop the mind, like Kotu was asking, no effort is even put. Everything that is happening in this session, there is no preconceived knowledge explanation, right? Sairam, is there any expression that is used? Swami said this, and then the chapter is closed. Knowledge without experience is death. The moment you said, I know it, that thing is dead and you are dead. There is no life anymore. Life is the constant strive to experience something in total reality. That is what we are talking about. Yes, Sai Ram. Okay, we'll let you all go back to your families. Thank you for staying here, and see you all next Saturday on New Year Eve. Jai Sai Ram.
Sairam.
स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शांति शांति शांति। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई